This is a makeup kit. I bought it at a dollar store somewhere. Don't remember. It's nice. It has this little applicator thing. And so what I can do is, you can see my favorite color of eyeshadow. And gunk up the walkway. And the train crew's walking up and down. And the mechanics, for that matter. How are the steps? Well, the steps have some rust on them. That's okay. The one problem with using mascara I found is that it has a slight sparkle to it, which isn't terribly realistic, but just don't look so close. One thing I like about it is that I've also used what do you call it? It's called dried pigment for weathering, and I like the dried pigment. The problem is that you have to, first of all, you have to seal it with clear finish afterwards, or it'll just blow off. And for the same reason, when you do put the clear finish on, you end up losing some of the dust that you put on there. I'm going to put some black coming down here, some soot from the exhaust. And maybe some black on the grills. And my favorite color, a rusty brown here. Now, I wasn't going to put a clear finish on when I complete this process, but I think I will. It seems to be coming off quite a bit, so. The issue with putting clear coat on is you have to watch out for the windows. And what I do is put some small pieces of masking tape over the windows. The advantage of this stuff is that it doesn't blow away as much as dried pigment does. It's also a lot cheaper. Dried pigment, well, I'm still using, it was very expensive when I bought it back in 1980, I think it was, 80, 81, somewhere in there. I'm still using the same 2 bottles, I think I have, 2 or 3. Okay. I have another container of eyeshadow. Why is there a green jewel right there? Where'd that come from? I have another container of eyeshadows too. Most of the colors I never use. Come on. Sometimes, you notice I have one light side and one dark side. Sometimes I'll use the white as some sand dust around the filler caps, front and rear. And against the yellow, it's not going to show up, of course. So let me just take a look on the truck frames. and in a few minutes I'll take you over to my spray booth and we'll do some other weathering. With some float quill paints. Okay, welcome to the spray booth. At this stage, we're going to do some airbrushing. I'm going to start with the Dullcote to seal in the mascara, whatever that stuff is called. Then we're going to do some rail brown. These are all float quill colors. Well, that's Testors, but float quill rail brown, a favorite of mine for rust colors. Weathered black for soot on the roof, and then some grime to spray on the trucks to give them kind of a dusty look. I could use float quill dust as well. It's going to get loud. I'll try and tone down the volume as I'm editing the video, but I got to keep the fan going. And I'll try to warn you before I turn on the air compressor, because that gets real loud. Alright, some dust. Okay, here comes the noise. Spray a little bit on my hand just to see. Get the coverage I want. And you can see I put some masking tape over the windows. I'm hoping the masking tape won't pull any of the details off. Now next up is going to be rail brown, and I want this to go on really thin. I've thinned it out almost 50% with a lacquer thinner. It's going to get loud here in a second. Here it comes. Spraying it on the back of my hand. I want the opening as small as possible. next we're going to use Floatquill Weathered Black right there, although you can't read it. Once again, I've thinned this about 50% with lacquer thinner. It's about to get loud. I want to make some soot on the roof. You can see I've got some piece of cardstock here, and I have some drip lines cut in it if I wanted to mask off. It's kind of hard for this. These are more for freight cars. I was using it to mask so that I didn't get quite so much on the side of the locomotive, just on the walkway. It's going to get loud. Like that. So this is what we look like with the soot around the exhaust stack. I almost want to put more on. It's a lot easier to add a little bit more than it is to take it away. I'm going to try a little bit. Alright, I'm going to call it good on the black. You see the trucks, we have some rust and some black. Alright. And last, Floatquill grime. This is going to hopefully give it a little bit of a look like it has dust. This is similar to Floatquill dust, so it's going to make it look dusty from the sanders. Hopefully, that's my intent here. So let's give it a try. Gonna get loud. I didn't mention I also thinned this about 50-50. Yeah. Yeah, that was going on way too heavy. Right in here. A lot heavier than I would have liked. And here's a boxcar I'm working on weathering up. I'm going to try a little bit more of that grime. That was a little bit better. It, you can see it just gave a hint of white down in there, which is what I was looking for. Something I noticed about this car, as I was turning it around, I need to dull coat it. It's too shiny. Another time. So there's some techniques I use to weather my locomotives. I might also add at some point with some of my engines, I'll put it like an oil spill up here on the walkway where somebody, you know, spilled some oil during a change or something like that. But I hope you learned some new things. Try them out. Oh, sometimes people ask me what I use for an airbrush. This is a Pache. It's a single action airbrush that I've been using single action Paches for 40 years now. I've painted thousands of locomotives and cars, so an old dog don't teach me new tricks. I've tried double action. These are much easier to clean, much easier. I can clean this just by running some lacquer thinner through it, and that's what I will do next. Bye for now, and have some fun with your model railroading out there.